Hey guys, I just had a thought today. Look at how shiny my glasses are. Aren't those cool? They're my CVS glasses. Um, Happy Tuesday. It's been actually nice and cool here this morning. It was really nice to just come out and not feel like it was blazing hot or too humid. And I was thinking about something. So I have to go get my car inspected, and my service engine light is on. And I was like, oh man, like I just so want to avoid it because you know the steps, right? You have to get it inspected. I blew my tire out the other day. Hey, Steve. And so I got that fixed. And now I'm going to go take it I have this awesome guy in McKinney. His name, it's Sharax. Sharax? I don't know if that's exactly how you say it, but he is up in McKinney, and he is just one of those just like old school, mom and pop shops. Love him, and so honest, tons of integrity. So I'm actually going to be heading up that way after I go to UPS to send my mom a package. So I was thinking about how many times we have to get our car inspected every year, right? For our registration and all that stuff. And I was thinking, how often do we inspect ourselves? And I was thinking, we are more than halfway through 2019, right? Like the beginning of the year, we're like, I have all these goals and I have all these things I want to accomplish. And so I was like asking myself, what is it that was, my word for the year was prosperity. And, how have I seen that show up in my life? And I was thinking about, what were the goals that I set for myself? And so I've been trying to come on and do more lives, and I always have a lot of thoughts, and then I forget. I'm like, oh man, I should have put this out there. I'm really, it's something that we forget. We forget about inspecting our own physical goals and our emotional health and our mental health. But we do this with our cars all the time, right? Our car has a problem, and we are like, I got to go, find the person who's going to fix it. But then when it comes to our own stuff, we say, well, I don't have money to go to that counselor. I don't have the money to go to the self-help workshops, or, it's not important to me. But what I find is most things in life are wrapped up into emotion. We wait for motivation. I hear clients say this all the time to me, like, well, I'm just not motivated. Or I can't do that right now. And I would challenge you to turn those I can'ts into I must. I must do this. I must go after this. It's kind of like I wrote something on my bathroom a few months ago because I noticed my pattern. I would be like, I have to do whatever it was. And I started saying, I get to do this. I get to do that. And it just totally changes like how the brain looks at it. So I've been trying those little tricks, just little things that I would normally be saying in my head or things that I would normally verbalize. And I've been trying to say things that have more of a positive spin on it. Cause I'm a pretty optimistic person. I usually have a smile on my face, but I think we all have an inner dialogue that can be negative or can look at things pessimistically. So, I'm really excited because I started evaluating things in myself, and I do that a lot anyway, but inspecting like, where am I at? So one of the things that's been really hard post-cancer for me has been my workouts. And in 2017, I was like, you know what? I got to figure out my gut health. I had colorectal cancer. I was like, I still have inflammation because I have IBS, whatever that meant at the time. Now I know I have SIBO, and I kind of feel like I hit a gold mine with Dr. Pompa. And I'm really looking forward to doing his protocol. But I kind of had to take a break from worrying about my physical health, and I was getting to the point where I couldn't even walk because I was having issues with my hip and my leg, and every time I would work out, I was hurting myself. And part of it was because I saw myself as I once was, like 2014, before I had cancer, and lifting weights and doing all kinds of crazy workouts, and I had to realize I had to pull myself back, and I couldn't do the things that I once did. Not yet. I'm like, okay, like someday, maybe I will, maybe I'll get there again. But for right now, I've really had to look at myself completely different. Not that I can't do it, but just for where I'm at right now. And I do that with my clients, but I'll tell you what, it's hard when you've been athletic and you've gone to the gym and you bring 110% every time. Like, that was my playground every day. And to have to be like, okay, I can't even walk, it's my foot's hurting or my hip's hurting, has been really tough. So the last 2 years, I just leaned into like finding fascia specialists and I worked with a guy that does muscle activation technique and chiropractors and things like that. And I feel like I'm really physically at a much better place. So I'm going to start weightlifting. I'm really excited because, I've done lots of core work and stuff, but I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to hit those weights, and I'm going to be really slow and really wise about it because in the past I've just tried to do my old thing. So that was one thing. And then I signed up for a life coaching certification. I went to Tony Robbins about 2 weekends ago, and I've been looking into life coaching for a while and what certification would be good, and I feel like I found one. So I'm starting that this week. And my nutrition, I've been looking into some things for some protocols for SIBO, found that there was a test called IBS Sure. It's on Vibrant Wellness website, and your doctor has to order it. So I just reached out to my old chiropractor, and he is ordering the test for me, so I can kind of find out which I'm sure it's going to be a positive. It's a blood test to find out if your digestion issues, if you have autoimmune, which I think that's where probably all of this stemmed from. The more I research and understand about SIBO, the more I'm understanding it can come from things like I had mono when I was 17. I was normal, totally normal. And then I had mono at 17. About 6 months later, I had my wisdom teeth taken out. And so bacteria from the cavities can actually travel to the gut and create an excess of bacteria in the gut. And then about a year after that, I had really bad shrimp in Rhode Island and got super sick. So I started having gut issues about 6 months later, and like random, like weird gut issues. And so that nobody could figure out. I went for testing, all through my 20s, and then I just started changing my diet. So in a way it was a positive because I've always eaten really healthy, but I never stopped having inflammation. So I feel like they're starting to uncover this a lot more. They're starting to understand the bacteria in the gut. When people end up with SIBO, small intestine bacterial overgrowth, or SIYO, like SIYO, which is small intestine yeast overgrowth. And so there's a protocol, and I'm going to be talking about it in my Mosaic Nutrition group. So I'm going to open that up for people to join it because I'm just going to take them through my journey through the protocol that I'm going to do. So all that to say, what are you guys doing to inspect your own health, inspect your own mental health, your physical health? Just like we get our cars inspected every year, what are you doing in your own world? Because it's important that we stop and evaluate, we reflect back, and we see kind of where we were at December 31st, right? As we're entering into New Year's, a lot of us kind of have that refreshed energy of like, it's a new year. What are the goals I'm going to hit? What are the things I'm going to want to accomplish? So just take a minute and just reevaluate where you're at, reset, and figure out what you're going to do the rest of the year. Because you guys will, I think your confidence grows when we commit to goals. And the only way that we're going to grow is if we execute and move forward. So that's my challenge to myself today, and something I wanted to share with you guys since it was on my mind. And a lot of times I have these thoughts, and I'm going to start putting them out on lives a little bit more. So, all right, you guys have an awesome Tuesday. If you're in Dallas, it's beautiful. Go take a walk.